3, 2, 1, go!
We are Paul Leonard
and Bryce Graskowski,
and this is 20 Minutes of Fitness.
Yo, Bryce, long time no talk, bud. How you been, buddy?
I'm good, man. How you doing? You
Living the dream.
Went on a little vacation, a couple weeks.
When was the last time we actually podcast? Did we podcast after the Ironman? I think we did right after that.
Yep, right after. Right? And then you were leaving. That's nice. That weekend, and you've been gone for 2 weeks and got back last week, I think.
That's right. So I left. I went and did the flying the Game Bird, and then I went to the cruise, and then I'm back here. So
nice.
That was
Disney cruise.
Week 1, week 2, and then now we're on week 3 from it. So we will have skipped 2 weeks of putting out podcasts.
That's what
and
we
then
figured.
Now we're back to where we need to.
Yep.
And I considered trying to do one with you like remotely, but it just last time we did one of those, we didn't even post it. It just didn't work.
Oh yeah.
So
yep.
Yeah, not worth
all
going
good.
out right. So things have been happening. I had a lot of fun flying Game Birds. That was fucking awesome.
Looked it.
It is definitely the coolest airplane there is. And we're going to have ours here in January.
Ooh.
So once I get some flight time in it,
nice.
I'll take you up and I'll scare you good. Coolest thing I did in the Game Bird, he decided, like, pulling G's is a real thing, right? Like, like in the Top Gun movie, they pulled like 9 to 10 G's, like stretched airframes, all that stuff, right? So this airplane's actually rated for 10 G's. So this airplane's actually rated for more G's than what the fighter jets are. And granted, it's not nearly as fast, but it's rated for more G's. So he's like, have you ever been in G-lock before? Like where you like your vision starts to narrow and like you kind of lose your control because of all the G's are on you. I'm like, no, definitely not. He's like, okay, well today we're going to see if we can make you black out in G-lock. I'm like, I don't know if that sounds like a great choice. So we go up in the airplane.
About it.
This is the last flight of the day because he knew it would probably make me sick because you get sick doing some of these maneuvers.
Yeah.
So we go up and start out with simple stuff. I'm like doing like just like banks, and then he's like, "Okay, pull on it and see how many G's you can pull." So I got up to about 6.5 G's, pulling hard on the stick. And one of the times, the outside of my vision kind of like got a little black, and then it came back. And he's like, "All right, that was the beginning of it." Ooh. He's like, "Okay, now I'm gonna take control of the plane, and I'm gonna try to make you black out." And I'm like, "Man, this isn't awesome. Like, I'm fucking nervous, right?" I'm sitting in the back in the control seat of the airplane. He's flying from the front. He's like, all right, I'm going to try to black you out. I'm like, all right, let's go for it. So he's like, okay, so make sure you're breathing in tight and keeping all your muscles tight, and then it's going to be like, it'll be more and more intense as we go. So we start out and we do some stuff, and he gets up to like maybe like 5-6 G's, and I'm fine. Like, no problem, right? He's like, all right, this is going to be a big one. We're going to do a loop, and the top of the loop, I'm going to pull negative so that you're like hanging from the seat. So we went about -2, and I have a G meter right in front of me, right? So I'm going about -2, and then he dives down, and then he pulls as hard back as he can at the bottom loop, because if we went any faster, we'd actually overspeed the airplane. And we got up to 7.2 G's at the bottom. So we went from -2 to 7.2, and I didn't black out or anything. I didn't have any problems at all. So I got out of that, and he's like, so that like mess up your vision? And I'm like, no, I was fine. He's like, are you serious? You were fine with that? And see, I think it like fucked him a little bit. He's like, okay, well, we're not going to go any harder than that. That was enough.
Because he's like, I'm going to pass out. And
all right. And then he's like, actually, you know what? We're going to do one more thing. I'm just going to surprise you with it. So, like, we're just going to be flying, like, normal level flight, and out of nowhere, I'm just going to pull hard to give you, like, G that you're not expecting. I'm like, all right, let's see how this goes. So we're going. All of a sudden, he banks 90 degrees, pulls stick super hard. We get up to about 6. I was fine.
Nice.
I mean, I was kind of expecting it because he's like, sometime in the next few minutes, I'm going to fucking crush you. I'm like,
so right away, you're like,
but
funny.
In the end, that was pretty cool, and I felt cool that I could pull that off.
That is cool.
And the reality is, I think the reason I can pull it off is because of the fitness that we do.
I was going to say that.
That allows my body to be able to handle tightening up and handle those loads, which most people would not be able to do so easily.
So what you're saying is an unintended benefit of CrossFit or fitness is being able to pull more G's.
More G's than most people.
If you want to see some other benefits, we have a video on that.
Last podcast.
2 podcasts ago, but yeah.
Was it 2 ago? Yeah,
I think so.
So that was super fun, though, and I'm super excited to have
cool.
that plane here and be able to do the cool stuff with you here. And then we went from there to a day at Disney or California Adventure, and then a day at Disneyland, and then 4 days on a Disney cruise. And all I can tell you is it was a lot.
Nice.
It was fun, but holy shit, just go for that whole time.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And then everyone got super fucking sick after. And Bo's still home from school 2 days later. It wasn't COVID.
Cruises.
It's just
cruise.
sickness. Yeah.
Everybody's
And I still
stuck
have
on
a
boat.
cough. I can't really train hard anymore.
Yeah. We noticed. So
So
we
on
did,
that note, speaking of my inability to train,
you almost snatched 175 pounds.
I think I hit 170 right before. No, 160.
165.
Okay, 165.
And
Ouch.
you were almost able to hang clean 225.
Ouch. I hit 220, right? No, 215.
You did the complex hang clean jerk front squat for a complex at 215.
That's fucking pathetic.
That's scary.
So my goal was I'm doing the Who's the Boss competition with Mana. Shout out to Mana.
CrossFit Oahu.
CrossFit West Oahu.
No,
going to CrossFit Oahu.
There you go.
Lots of CrossFit in Oahu in there. So yeah, Mana asked me to partner with him and do the competition, and pretty sure he only asked me after you shut him down, but
Correct.
I'll accept that.
Correct.
I don't mind being number 2. Sloppy second's still not so bad.
You're used to it.
And then, so now I decided that I need to get back to being fit again before December 13th, I think.
So we're back into CrossFit.
And I said, Bryce has to do it with me. Not the competition, but the getting fitter again.
Yeah, I got to get fit for my wedding anyway.
So Bryce decided that we should do the only workout that's been released so far today. And that was doing a hang snatch overhead squat.
And then, if things go as well for you and Mana on the day, you get second place, just like you did today.
And I'm okay with that.
There you go.
And the second part was the hang clean and then a jerk down into a front squat. And turns out I can only do the hang snatch overhead squat today with 165, which I'm a little embarrassed at that to myself, honestly. I thought I'd be 205.
Yeah.
And I should be able to be back to there. This is the second time I've touched a barbell in,
I would have assumed we could have gotten to the 190 range today. Not anything more than that, though.
Yeah.
185, 190.
I mean, I felt confident that I could do 185.
Yeah.
I'm very surprised at where I ended up. But it is what it is.
And that's one of those.
I deserve it.
An unintended negative of certain aspects of fitness also screws that up, right? So running, lots and lots of running, tends to take away your power production from the ground of jumping and stuff like that. So
training for an Ironman maybe took my numbers down.
Yeah, and you're not feeling well, so that could be it too. But so something you could probably do to jump start, no pun intended, doing some like box jump stuff, like depth jumps or like seated box jumps, just to get that explosiveness.
That's true. Again, like going from your knees to jumping on the ground,
knees to feet. Yep. That
get my
stuff,
explosiveness.
Just
back
get everything working again. That would be your training regime for the next couple weeks. That'll get you right back.
And then the hang clean and jerk / front squat, which should be my strength. Yeah. I'm way better at squatting and jerking than I am at snatching.
Yeah.
215 was a struggle. It took me 2 attempts even to get that.
That's true.
And that's room for improvement, put it that way.
So yeah,
Bryce barely got the 225. So
I did hang clean 235 though.
Did you do the full complex at 225?
Yeah, easy.
Okay.
It was good. I had I did a push press at the that wasn't the best. My jerk technique is gone. That's one of those things I find I lose pretty quick is technique in the jerk when I'm not doing it, at least once a week.
And it's frustrating for me because the jerk in the front squat is so easy compared to the hang clean for me. My PR strict press is 225.
Yeah.
So I'm not worried about the jerk.
The second half is easy for you.
But that hang clean, I don't get the power from the hang that I never have been good at hang cleans.
Yeah.
But yesterday when I did hang squat cleans at the gym, I hit 245 easily.
Yeah, okay.
So it's more the hang power that's my problem.
Yeah, that's weird. You couldn't.
I probably could have went higher yesterday, but I ran out of time.
That could have messed you up too, doing it 2 days in a row. Something I was thinking we should have did today, or what I was thinking we were going to do when I came here: pull your log out and try to.
Do
do
that next week.
Do the clean and jerk on the log. See what we could get. The Rogue was this weekend, so they did one of the events. I think event 7 was the log. Was it a clean and jerk? Yeah, they had to clean it off, hang clean and jerk basically. They got the 300.
They did it off of like blocks, right?
Yeah, off blocks. I think they had 300.
The guy
the final weight.
So only Chandler Smith got 300.
Yep.
I think Meideros got 290.
Krennikov.
What did he get?
Meideros was out before that.
Oh, someone else got 290.
Krennikov.
Okay, and then third place got 280.
Yeah.
Someone else big.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Good
Yeah.
event altogether. I watched, I think, all of it. I didn't watch the entire
You don't watch the whole thing.
Legends events because
yeah.
it's like there's somebody, and it's all well and good for the crowd, and they get to go out there and be in front of people again. But like to watch it, it's like it's not a competition. It's just watching people work out at that point. And every event, I think somebody was scaling it, which is fine. I mean, it's the spirit of CrossFit, right? That they're displaying there, not necessarily a competition. So I didn't really watch all of those. I would watch the beginning and see what was going on. But all in all, excellent event.
I liked their trail run. I thought that was clever.
That was good.
Like, not only was it a brutal run, but starting with a ruck pack, and then you drop that, and like you see, like some of them get way faster, and some of them push too hard earlier, and they're like, oh. And then the sandbag was nothing for them. I don't know why they put such light sandbags over there.
Yeah.
Like moving 300-pound sandbags over it is just an inconvenience. That's not even heavy.
Yeah.
So
that was odd.
That could have been 150s or 200s.
They were tossing those things.
It just wasn't even an obstacle.
Yeah.
But I guess they just ran 3 miles.
Yeah.
So fair enough. Still breaks up what you're doing.
I feel like so Spieler and Bridges did the programming.
Yes.
And I know they tested all these things, so my criticism of the entire event, besides judging as usual, the thing ruining CrossFit, was they were off on a few things. Like they're off on the size of the sandbag, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
Unless that's how fast they wanted them to be.
Yeah, and that's fair too. Maybe that was just like, maybe they didn't want to slow people down for that piece.
Yeah.
Which, like Chris programmed for us for a long time.
Yeah.
He does know his shit. He just chooses what he wants and then base it off of that. So he wanted what they did, I bet.
Possibly.
Was that the right choice? Maybe not.
Yeah. I feel like
he thought they'd be more tired by that point.
It should have been an extra 50 pounds in there.
I thought so
just
too.
to
Or maybe
make
even
it,
100 more.
just to make them have to like get a pause. They just fucking threw those things.
That's what I thought. It looked to me like they were throwing hay bales. Like it was like, why are we even adding that piece in there?
It didn't make a lot of sense.
But then it was another 1.2 miles from there.
Yep.
And that was like they went hard, and it
just
was
to make them stop. I don't know. I don't know the real reason. There's just no. I can't see a really good reason for 3 reps at a super lightweight.
Yeah.
That would have been a suitable number for us, not
That's
them.
right.
You know what I mean? The other ones were the 2 events that I feel were huge fails, and for different reasons. One of them was way under programmed. Was the turtle?
Okay.
That was awful. They had the monkey bars. They literally had 10 monkey bars.
Yeah, which is not
anyone can do that. Like it came into play not at all. The turtle itself was way too light. That also didn't really come into play. Yeah, some people moved it a little faster, but the entire workout was lunging. I think they gave
which is brutal for day 3.
They gave him a 6-minute.
Imagine doing all those lunges and then have to keep training.
I'm not good at lunges.
Oh my god, they blow me up every time.
But they had a 6-minute time cap, I believe, on that. And I want to say the first heat of women, the last place girl was like 3:05. Like it was clearly off on their what they thought was going to happen. And so I don't know who tested that and was like, yeah, that's good. At the least, the monkey bar should have been twice as long, but it is what it is. And then having right after that Duel 2, which was also a one less than a minute. That one was less than a minute. So, and my issues on that one, you can't have a sprint type workout, a 30-second sprint workout with a rope climb, because there were too many people. They were first up at the top, and they came down, hit the ground first, but the fucking rope, it's a dangerous object to put into a sprint.
Yeah.
And it took them a second or 2 seconds to get their leg free of the rope, which they weren't even wrapping their legs. So it's like,
it was just in the way.
It's just because it's not dragging on the ground for safety, right? Which they're on mats. It didn't really matter. It's a tripping hazard. It's everything hazard. It's Scott Panchik landing on the extra rope at the regionals and popping his knee out. It's that same thing of like, hey, you got to look out for shit like this. But what it actually did is it made it took the rope climb completely out of the entire equation, because a lot of times the person that was up there first was last to the barbell.
Stuck at the bottom, yeah.
the race shouldn't be between letting go of a rope and picking up a barbell when that's the easiest part of the entire thing. And a lot of them, that was what it came down to. And I don't think that's very good.
So what workouts were awesome? I like the back squat, deadlift, box jump.
I love that. That was great.
And for them to do
405.
that at 405,
Ooh.
dude, the fitness level at the CrossFit Games is up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, that is a lot of reps of 405 back squat.
The ladies' weights, though, are still way too low. Like, they're still low. And I don't know if that's just how it is. Like, that's the more accurate of elite men and elite women, that there's just that big of a gap. But to me, 405 and 275 isn't the same thing. But if you look at it, shit, Danielle Brandon couldn't even get 275. So I feel like the women are sacrificing a lot of strength for doing a lot of other stuff.
I see what you're saying.
I
They're
think
just not proportionally as strong.
Yeah, and you have to question, like Tommy was saying, you have to question who is making the games and who is making these like the rogue qualifier. If you're not testing heavy enough, you're letting weaker people in. It's kind of like this past year's Open and semifinals. You let weaker people into the next stage, and you took out the stronger people. And maybe that's why somebody like Danielle Brandon, who can't even squat 275, is at that spot. But I loved the event. That was great.
And watching the guys that were crushing it, just like knocking out 405 like nothing.
Nothing.
Dude.
Yeah.
Like,
I could barely air squat that fast.
That's like they're just flying. Like it's no big deal for them.
Yeah,
and
that was impressive.
To me, that's a weight. Like, my lifetime PR is 410. I can hit 405 right now. Not even close.
No.
And so to see these guys at the level they're at, just be able to just knock it out.
15 reps. And
So-
fast. They were like
fast.
4 minutes for the whole workout.
And to make it even, like, not only do they have to do that, but all those box jumps, as fast as they are in between the sets,
Yeah.
that would blow up your legs. Like,
yeah, like you see
somebody who could easily do 405 normally,
Yeah.
do a set of, what is it, 20 was their first set of back box jumps?
20, might have been 25.
Maybe 25?
25.
So do 25 box jumps as fast as you can. Now prove that you can still do 405. I don't think so, dude.
And if you watch like Nick Matthews, he was just bouncing,
Yeah.
landing with like that much knee bend, and it's like, holy shit. I was like, man, is that a 20-inch box? Because he's just that.
And
That's
Jeffrey
springy.
Adler, too. Just
Yeah.
bouncing, dude.
They're
And it's
just
like,
springs.
how? And then Jeffrey
Springs.
Adler, he took it too easy at the beginning.
Yeah.
By the end, he's like, oh, man, I should be going way faster. You're like, who is this that he has that much left in the
He's
tank?
So that's one of the things with the entire Rogue was the judging issues, and there's a judging and standards issue in the whole event. One of them is that the log, they screwed up like the timing of that, and if Jeff Adler had enough time, he maybe could have got one. He would have won the entire. He would have got, what was he, second or third? But
Yeah.
it would have put him in first place by like 10 points overall at the end of the weekend. Another one that was, what would this be? A judging issue, I guess. Emma Lawson shouldn't have been on the podium, and no one is talking about this, and I don't understand why. She did in the duel. They had to carry the movement was called sandbag carry to finish, meaning the sandbag has to the race ends with the sandbag in a carry. She falls down, and this much of the bag, if this is the line, is on this side, which means when she fell down, her foot is behind the finish line. She then gets up and crosses the finish line with her tracker. She never finishes the workout. She gets last place in that, not whatever they gave her, which is more than enough to actually put her. I looked at it. She got third place, I believe, overall.
Yeah.
It would have put her into fifth. Yeah, fifth place. Magawa and who was in third? I don't remember now. But whoever was in third, or not third, fourth. Whoever was in fourth and fifth should have moved up a place. Because, and I didn't understand. I saw it live when it happened, and I'm like, that person they never crossed the line. And she didn't. She didn't like stand back up and pick it up and go. Whereas some people dropped this, 10 feet from the line, picked it up and still crossed the line, still made the next heat. She didn't. She just took it.
She said close enough and called it a day.
Yeah, and so she should have been last place in that whole event. She got
And
12.
her judge called it okay because it touched the line?
Who knows? The judges aren't on the field that close, But that was very poor. And then the handstand push-up standard, and whoever came up with the standards of this event, I blame them. people's feet coming off the wall during the push-up. So now you have to drag your feet the entire time. No one does it because if you're wearing rubber shoes, there's always a little pop, which technically there's space, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, like I understand like show control at the top, heels on the wall at the bottom, head. It should be like we always say, the top and the bottom.
Yeah.
The head down.
The middle doesn't need
the
to be a
heels up.
certain thing.
The middle shouldn't be an issue, and the difference from judge to judge was huge. Rep to rep was huge, and it's like it was completely subjective to whatever the judge was going to say, and that should never be the issue. So those were the big real, and they were huge negatives because they changed the leaderboard by a lot. Yeah.
So that being said, overall,
great event.
Yeah. Rogue did really well.
Yep.
Great footage, great live footage, great.
Oh yeah,
you can
like
watch it after the fact really easily.
We're always like talking about like CrossFit Games, their camera work is shoddy. Go back and watch the trail run that they did at Rogue.
Yeah.
That's how you video a race.
Yeah, they have cameras staged in different places in advance.
See the turns, you see this person, you see the people coming.
They
stay there till they come.
They had some athletes volunteer to have cams on their bodies.
That was great.
Like that was
great.
Awesome.
Yeah. No, I
used the drone footage mixed in there. Like
Yep.
they did a good job of that, and that's a hard thing to actually make entertaining in a video, and they did it.
That's why they didn't do it live, but still that was they shouldn't. I mean, that's how you should do it. Like
yeah, it's totally okay.
CrossFit has no way to make that interesting with the way they filmed it, unfortunately, and most of what they film at the games. But yeah, overall, I think I heard somebody complaining about the videos, and I'm like, oh, what are you talking about? The cameramen,
they were great.
Cameramen were great.
And then I like that
when you in the field,
when you look on the Rogue page and it shows all the events, you can just click on the replay of that event.
Oh yeah,
right there on the webpage. They make it really easy to go in and watch stuff after the fact.
Technology-wise, they're killing it.
Yeah.
And I think CrossFit really needs to take a lot of notes from them, as all the events do.
And I like that they made the CrossFitters do the strongman stuff.
I thought it was great.
Like I think it's awesome that the best CrossFitter did 300 on the log clean and jerk, and did the strongmen get to choose their weight, or they all?
No, it was just 360 or some shit, like 390, something like that.
So all of them just did that, and it looks like nothing to those guys.
Guy carried 1,000-pound yoke, 20 yards, something like that, in 10 seconds, ran over and did 3 clean and presses with a almost 400-pound log in less than 35 seconds.
Another one that I thought was awesome, there's a rookie that won the carry event.
Carry event.
I think he was carrying the sandbag thing.
Yeah. The Husafell stone. Yeah.
Husafell stone. So it was a rookie that won that one.
Yep.
And after the fact, the announcer's like, so like, how do you train for something like that to win as a rookie? Yeah. He's like, that's the first time I ever did it.
Holy shit. Was that Pavlo?
I don't know.
The giant Ukrainian dude?
Massive dude.
Dude, I've never seen anybody that big.
But he's like, oh yeah, no, I don't have one of those. So actually, it was my first time ever doing the dumbbell. That was my first time ever doing the carry. And there was a third event that
had to be Pablo.
Was the first he'd ever done. And he won
the deadlift.
And like got second, I think. He's dominating.
Yeah, he won the deadlift. Brian Shaw was doing some commentary. He's like, I'd like 10 minutes with him before an event. He'll shave time off. And so he's going to be, I've never seen anybody that big. He's the widest human I've ever seen.
It's crazy.
His upper body is just If you didn't watch that, go to at least
those guys
watch
are impressive.
That guy, because he is
the roller coaster.
scary.
I thought that was a cool.
That was awesome.
Event.
Yeah,
like talk about a big elaborate showstopper, right?
One thing I did, my big takeaway from Rogue is that it is so much more interesting to watch strongman events than CrossFit.
That's true too. Is it impressive as fuck, or is the CrossFit stuff? It's impressive,
and you'll watch. They do one guy at a time most of the time, right? And you'll watch one guy do it. You'll watch the next guy do it. And you're not entertained. Whereas CrossFit, they had 2 heats, and I had trouble watching the heats.
Yeah, you kind of don't want to bother the first heat.
It was like
the second one's the only one you care about.
The strongman, I'm sitting there like this, and then the CrossFit came on, and I'm on my phone.
Yeah.
Listening to it because it's not that interesting to watch. which is why like the sandbags at the games was the best event, or one of the best events. And then this yoke, or what's it called? Log.
Yeah.
The log was one of the best. Yeah. So we'll definitely have to do that next week though.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. On that note, guys, thanks for sticking in there. Like, subscribe, add us to your channel, whatever it is that you do that make you
Do
listen
all
to
those
us more.
Things.
Like us more.
Like
in
us
like
more.
a personal way.
Yeah, we need friends.
Peace.